when the weather's looking like this in our greenhouse. What is today? This is October the 8th. October the 8th. We put the taters in, so let's see what happens. All right, everybody, it's KC Jilly with all my help. And we're getting ready to plant some taters.
What we gonna plant it?
All right, here's you another one. For our russets. So here you go, same kind of thing.
Mommy, here.
Do you see what I see? Let me get something so I can dig in here and we'll see what we got. Well, guys, I'm gonna check out my taters. It's 20 degrees outside, but the sun's out, and here in the greenhouse, it is 50 degrees, so the damage has definitely been done. I can tell what's surely not gonna make it. There's some things that may come through it, but my potatoes look like this. I mean, that cold got them. So I'm hoping down inside there may accidentally be some presents, and it may not be much, but something's in there because it was pushing the ground up. And I decided that I would put some of these wood chips on top to keep it from getting green, if perhaps there is something in there. Potatoes. Still got some sun golds from when I tore down my stuff up top. They've been sitting here ripening on top of these wood chips. And I can tell you, the temperature of the dirt in these containers is something else. And I can see a potato right now. But let me just go ahead and pull all of this this wood off the top, these wood chips. And I'll give you a little closer look. All right, guys. So I'm serious, this ground is really cold. Look, you can hear it. It's like frozen, the ground is. I may not be able to do it right now. It's too dadgum cold. I wouldn't have thought it'd be that bad. See what I can do. I'll try not to tear anything up. Okay, guys, I want to talk about this before I move on to the next. These Yukon Golds and some red ones, I can't remember what the name of the red potatoes were. I ordered a 5-pound bag of seed potatoes of the red and the Yukons on Amazon through somebody who had really good reviews all the way. And they were late getting here. The red ones, I actually had to complain and ask for my money back, and they assured me they were shipping some stuff. And I got them, and they were big, but they weren't really ready. And I, like an idiot, I put the stuff in the ground hoping for the best. So I got a little something out of these, but instead of eating these, I'm going to stick these somewhere and let them get some eyes on them. And they'll be my next crop, and I'm hoping to do a little better on that round. But that's all I got out of probably 4 or 5 plants that came up. So that's pretty pathetic, really. Of course, the season probably ain't just right, especially with the freeze coming, but they were already dying off before the freeze came. So I've learned my lesson here, but I want to tell you now what I find really surprising, okay? Let me get these out of the way. Okay, in the spring, I planted some russet potatoes that I had bought from my local supermarket. They had gotten eyes on them, were getting rotteny, and I threw them in the ground, and I got maybe 2 or 3 of them, but not very much. it was about the same situation as this is, okay? And instead of using those, I stuck them somewhere dark and decent and left them alone, and they got eyes on them, and we stuck them in here, and they're the ones that I was least expecting anything from, because not only are they store-bought, so I thought they may have been sprayed with something to keep them from, help them to last and maybe not sprout eyes on them, but I expected the least, I guess, because I bought them from my local grocery store to eat. But I want to show you something. I went to pulling these things out of the ground, and they already have more just right here on top. Before I even get into everything, they've already got more just pulling up this stuff than the dadgum Yukon Golds. The reds I didn't get any out of. The whole bunch of them rotted. Okay. So I just find that kind of interesting. I do certainly need to figure out the timing here where I'm at a little bit better. But I'm tickled because my store-bought stuff is what's going to do me the best, it looks like, this round. So, let me get these guys pulled up here. Get these old plants out of the way. Look at that. They're not, none of them are big. They're not big enough. That the freeze got these, but they were doing okay. I can't help it if the freeze gets them. But I may have some seed taters for next time, but this is just plain russet potatoes that we make our French fries and mashed potatoes out of around here. Before I ever got into gardening and realized there were all these different kinds, because the red and the Yukon weren't even available around here until the last 5 or 6 years. And this is what I've eaten my whole life. And these guys are just popping up all over the place. So that's kind of cool, because I got a taste for these, and they can get pretty big. You can make some nice bacon potatoes out of them guys. I like those Yukon Golds because they're soft. It's really nice to just cook something up real fast. You don't have to cook so dadgum long, but at the same time, I got nothing but time. And if these russets that I've been raised on will do well here, that sounds good to me. I'll also say that this particular planter that I've got this stuff planted in is kind of double walled, so it's a little bit more insulated. It's not as frozen as the other was. It looks much drier than the one I pulled the Yukon Gold out of. So maybe I had the other one a little too wet or something, I don't know. Because these could have used probably another month, and I'd have had some pretty good potatoes. The little bunch that I did get would have been much bigger and fuller anyway. Oh, there's one. Now some of the mist from my misting system has surely gotten into here, but not a lot. This is what I ended up with in my little tater bucket. Not too much, but it's getting better than last time. So I'm gonna stick with it. You guys stick with it too. And maybe springtime we'll have something worth bragging about. This was a good start though. These dadgum seed potatoes that I bought online, I don't know about them. We're gonna let these turn into seed potatoes and see if they'll do better the second route. Maybe in the early spring here. I'll put them somewhere and get some eyes growing on them. In the meantime, at least I've got these, and the red ones, they all rotted in the bucket, I'm guessing. They're underneath the iceberg lettuce that I've showed you a time or two. So nothing ever came up out of there except for one little shoot, and it died off almost as fast as it emerged. So for now, this is where I'm at. And come back and see me. We'll see y'all next round.